October sports chaos is here. MLB playoffs, NFL Monday Night Football, and the NHL is about to drop the puck on the season tomorrow. It's wall-to-wall action, and I've got plays in every sport. Let's grind. What's up, sports fans? My name is Chris. Welcome back to Game Day Wagers, and thank you for tuning into episode 1 of our flagship show, the Game Day Grind. Mondays are always action-packed, but today it feels a little bit different. We've got the Dodgers taking on the Phillies in the NLDS Game 2. We've got the Cubs trying to stay alive in Milwaukee in Game 2 of their series. And we've got the Chiefs taking on the Jaguars under the bright lights of Monday Night Football. Oh, and not to mention, tomorrow the NHL season gets underway. So we're going to go over a couple of futures plays and prep you for what's to come for the NHL season from start to finish. Before we get into the plays though, if you guys haven't already taken a second to like the video, please go ahead and do so now. If you guys are new around here, welcome to Game Day Wagers. We're pumping out some great content on a daily basis, so be sure to hit the subscribe button. I do not want you to miss on any great content and any free pick winners we got moving forward across a plethora of sports. Now, with an action-packed Monday, let's dive right in. To kick things off, we're going to be talking about the MLB playoffs, which has been phenomenal so far. We're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Dodgers taking on the Philadelphia Phillies in Game 2 of their NLDS series. If there was a game that the Philadelphia Phillies needed to win, it was Game 1. They were up 3-0 early against Shohei Ohtani and crew, but crumbled for a 5-3 loss. Teoscar Hernandez hit his third home run of the playoffs, which put the Dodgers up for good. Now, the Philadelphia Phillies have a quick turnaround, and they need to find a way to beat Blake Snell, something I just don't see them doing. Snell has been nearly unhittable across his last 4 starts, giving up just 13 hits in 26 innings, while striking out 37 in the process. One of those starts came against his same Phillies side, and I'm expecting much more of the same. The Phillies will counter with Jesus Luzardo, who has been hit hard in 2 of his last 3 starts, including one game versus the Dodgers on September 17th, where he gave up 4 runs and 2 home runs in a 5-0 loss. With the way the Dodgers are swinging their bats right now, through 3 games this postseason, they got no holes 1 through 9 in the batting order. I just believe they're in store for another high-scoring outburst. With Snell dealing, I'll take the Dodgers on the moneyline price of -130. Also, if you're into the prop markets, I think you can make a case for Snell going over his pitcher outs market, which right now is lined at 16.5, -115. I'm going to be taking the over in this market. He's gone over this number in 4 straight games, and he's off a relatively stress-free 91-pitch performance against the Cincinnati Reds. I don't see a world where he doesn't finish the 6th inning in this game. I'm going to be backing the Dodgers to win this game and Snell to go deep into the ball game. From one team dominating October baseball to another looking to avoid an 0-2 hole, we're going to talk about the Cubbies taking on the Brewers in Game 2 of their NLDS series. The best bet in this game, I do like the Cubs on the money line at +105. If you look at this game objectively, everything was against the Cubs in Game 1. They had just finished an emotional Game 3 with the Padres and had to use their pitching staff to the max. The Brewers were rested and ready and pounced on them early in Game 1, and we saw the results. Now, with Shota Imanaga on the bump for the Cubs, I do believe he's got the pitching advantage over the Brewers going with their opener, Aaron Ashby, then likely Quinn Priester to follow. I do think this spot sets up nicely for Chicago. If you look at Priester, he's quietly been one of the best Brewers pitchers all season long, but he's coming off a rough start where he gave up 9 hits and 3 runs to the Reds in just 5 innings of work. The Cubs have already seen Priester, and in that game, he gave up 3 hits and walked 5 batters. It's not one of those games where I'm going to call it a lock of the century or game of the year, but I do believe the Cubs are the right side in this contest, and they'll need to win this game if they have any shot of winning the series. At +105, I think there's some good value with the Cubbies. And again, for those of you in the player prop market, I'm looking at Shota Imanaga over 3.5 strikeouts at +120. I don't expect his leash to be as short as it was against San Diego in his last start. He's been hovering around this mark in each of his last 5 starts. He's gone over this number in 3 of those games, with the only 2 games he didn't go over, finishing with 3 strikeouts. At +120, I think there's tremendous value here. And as I mentioned, I don't think his leash is going to be as short, so we could see him pitch into the 5th or 6th inning with plenty of opportunity to get those 4 strikeouts. Now, from the diamond, we're going to shift focus to the gridiron. We're going to be talking about tonight's Monday Night Football game between the Kansas City Chiefs and Jacksonville Jaguars. Right now, the Chiefs are laying -3.5 points, and this line has not budged all week, and quite frankly, I don't know why. I'm going to be betting the Kansas City Chiefs -3.5 at -110 for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, the Kansas City Chiefs are starting to come around on offense. They put up 59 points across their last 2 games, but more importantly, their defense looks like it did during their peak Super Bowl runs. Steve Spagnuolo He's a masterful schemer on defense. He's a great play caller, and he should be able to scheme up a few things that'll keep Trevor Lawrence's head spinning. Look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're a mid-table team in terms of points and passing yards, while ranking 4th in rushing yards. They may be able to exploit the Kansas City Chiefs' rush defense, which ranks 22nd in the league. But when you're playing from behind, which I believe they will be early in this game, I think they're going to have no choice but to abandon the run, which plays right into Steve Spagnuolo's hands. Ultimately, this game's going to come down to quarterback play. I'll take Patrick Mahomes and his fully healthy offense over anything the Jaguars can throw their way. Would I love a 3-by kickoff? Sure, but I see this game being 28-17 in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs, so I'm going to go ahead and lay the minus 3.5 points at minus 110. From a player prop perspective, the Jaguars secondary is bleeding yards right now, ranking 24th in the league, giving up 233.5 passing yards per game. Sure, they've only given up 18 points per game, but if you look at their opponents, the Panthers, the Bengals with Joe Burrow in there for a quarter, the Texans and the 49ers, those are not exactly high-octane offenses. Mahomes should shred them apart, so we're going to focus on him. We're going to go over 23.5 completions at minus 120, and Xavier Worthy, anytime touchdown for his first touchdown of the year at plus 155. From there, we're going to be talking about the NHL season, which gets underway tomorrow. Now, I don't typically love playing futures and having my money tied up for extended periods of time, but there are a couple of spots that I see could be very profitable for us moving forward. To start, we're going to focus on David Pastrnak of the Boston Bruins, under 100.5 points. I think this is going to be a rebuilding year for the Boston Bruins. Their offense doesn't look good on paper, and I just don't think Pasta is good enough to reach the century mark on a bottom of the Atlantic type team, which will struggle for points. Next, we're going to look at the Calgary Flames, over 83.5 points. This team overachieved last year, but still almost hit the 100-point mark. With minimal turnover, I do believe they can get at least to 500 here and get 84 points. If not, continue to overachieve and sniff a wild card spot. Shifting focus from over-unders, we're going to look at the regular season awards market. William Nylander, plus 1,800 for the Rocket Richard. He's coming off a career high in goals with 45. He's going to be relied upon more now that Mitch Marner's gone. And if he can take his game to the next level and become a true leader of the Toronto Maple Leafs, there's no way he can't reach 50, 55, maybe even 60 goals if he stays healthy and gets hot. At plus 1,800, I think there's good value. And from the Norris, Cale Makar, plus 180. I think this is going to be the best number we're going to see on him all season long. He's the best defenseman by far. He plays in a good team that'll help his stats. And I just don't see him losing this award. At plus 180, that's tremendous value. But enough about bets that'll tie your money up for about 6 months' time. Starting tomorrow on the Game Day Grind, we're going to be breaking down the NHL slate. We've got 3 games on tap. And moving forward, we're going to be giving you our best bets, sides, totals, player props, anything we can find value on or find an edge, we will be talking about it. So be sure to lock in for the NHL season with Game Day Grind, and let's make it a profitable NHL season and one to remember. That wraps up your Monday edition of the Game Day Grind. Thank you guys so much for watching. To recap our best bets for Monday's card, we're taking the Dodgers on the money line, minus 135. We're taking Blake Snell over 16.5 outs at minus 120. We're taking the Cubbies on the money line at plus 105. We're taking Shota Imanaga over 3.5 strikeouts at plus 120. We're taking the Kansas City Chiefs minus 3.5 points. Patrick Mahomes over 23.5 completions minus 120. Xavier Worthy anytime touchdown plus 155. And we've got a few NHL futures sprinkled in. Cale Makar for the Norse plus 180. William Nylander for the Rocket Richard at plus 1,800. And David Pastrnak, my favorite play of the year, under 100.5 points at minus 110. I will be back tomorrow at the same time, 12 p.m. Eastern, breaking down the NHL slate and the pair of ALDS Game 3s. Be sure to drop a like on the video. Be sure to subscribe if you guys are new around here, or drop a comment if you guys are tailing, fading, or have any best bets you're making for Monday's card. As always, keep grinding and good luck.